What's up, guys? So a little late to the party here, but I had to do this before I give you an update on where I've been and what I've been doing. I saw a video come through my feed. I didn't think it was real at first, and then I saw it, and then I saw more people reacting to it, and I want to just give you some thoughts. I actually haven't seen the full video here, so hopefully you get a kick out of it, just some of this stuff. So anyway, this was a trans person in Florida, and just kind of a freak out moment that they had with law enforcement. And then I want to give you my thoughts afterwards. So without further ado, let's go ahead and watch this clip.
Problem.
Why do you let those kids get away with this? They are not supposed to be here!
If you don't lower your voice, I am going to put handcuffs on you, and I'm going to take you to a Baker Act facility. You lower your voice.
Try it.
Are you threatening me?
So like already you got just this this certain level of confrontation that's just ridiculous. And I am not saying that all trans people are like this. I know people might try to like say that that's what I'm about to say, but I am saying that clearly this person is not in a mental capacity to really engage with law enforcement or really anybody at this spot. And I'm not just saying that because this person is trans. I'm saying it because clearly they are in a spot that they're just not reasonable, even from the jump. Because it seems like this is the first interaction that this person has had with law enforcement. They're just coming up on this thing that I guess it was at a mall or something. So let's keep watching.
Can we get another unit to deal with Jay Lee here? He is having a breakdown.
Say! Just say the right pronoun!
What'd you say?
7351.
Get down on the ground right now.
No!
You're about to get sprayed.
No,
Get down on the ground right now.
Leave me alone!
I can come in there.
Leave me alone, please!
Okay, are you going to calm down?
I want to be away from
No.
So you have the second interaction here with this body cam footage. And I think this is just like, this is what happens when somebody who's chronically online or doesn't deal with people in person on a regular basis. And again, I know I'm making a bunch of like claims here, but I don't think they're unfounded. And I think you can just tell just by the natural way that this interaction is happening. This is what happens when you talk a certain way online, or you think a certain way online, or you see that, you know, the trends of what people on the internet might say about, you know, trans people or the lifestyle that you live or whatever. Clearly, in this, there's been some entitlement that's come from being transgender, right? Like the response of when he's trying to call in more backup or more officers to come, he says he, and it just, this person just flips out, dude. And it's like, this is not the internet, right? This is not some place where you're going to be taken seriously if this is how you interact with people, and especially people who are trying to, you know, investigate or help or do whatever was happening in this particular instance. And yeah, like this is not, it's not helpful. And this is what happens when somebody who's like chronically online, or maybe in an echo chamber where they hear affirmation after affirmation after affirmation, when something doesn't go the way that they want or anticipate or think that they're entitled to, then this is the response. And who knows that this officer was like trying to genuinely, you know, put them in a place where they were being misgendered or whatever. But the response is just crazy to me. So let's see what happens here. This is later on in the body cam footage as well.
No, it's too late now. It's too late now. He's going to be taken away.
Yeah.
You stop.
It's taken.
I just want to get away from him.
I understand that.
He needs to
Say! Stop misgendering me! Just say she!
Alpha 73.
And then they ended up arresting them and putting them in the car, and that's that, right? But I think, again, going back to what I said previously, like when you live in an echo chamber or you're chronically online or whatever is happening here, and clearly, like I said from the very beginning, there's also some mental things that I think are happening here that are regardless of if somebody is going to be transgender or not or whatever. I think there's clearly some other problems that are going on here. But I think this is kind of a microcosm of the problems of priority. And when I say priority, I mean this idea that just because I identify a certain way, or just because I am feeling like I am this certain presentation of how I present to society or whatever, that all of a sudden I'm entitled to special treatment. And even special treatment down to saying like, no, you can't arrest me. I'd like to see you try. Like that stuff, I think, again, there's clearly other things happening here, but I don't know on what level identifying as trans plays into this role as well, and this sense of entitlement and this lack of authority. It seems to me like the third clip that we saw, the third little cut of this a body cam footage, that seems like there might be like a mental health professional or a social worker or somebody who's there on the scene trying to de-escalate or do all that. But like the officer said, like after a certain amount of time, the patience is done. Like you can't keep egging this stuff on. And you know, I think this is interesting, not because I'm here to speak about transgender people or more generally, but I think that this is just an anecdotal case, an example of how people who maybe are already struggling in other areas attach to this community or identify in this way, and it doesn't actually bring help. It actually continues to isolate them further or bring them in a spot where they feel even more sense of entitlement or all of that stuff. I think, again, I know how this is probably going to come across, and I really honestly don't care because I think that what I feel confident in saying is I think clearly there's other issues, but I think it's exasperated by the way that this person is identifying and the community that they seemingly are trying to belong to. Now, I've read comments on YouTube and on TikTok and on some other places that I've seen this video, because I've seen it a couple different times, all the way, not all the way through. And you can see that people who would normally kind of classify themselves as a progressive, they're like, hey, we don't claim this. And I think that's fair. I think this is not something where you can go in and say all trans people are like this or all liberals or leftists are like this. I mean, I know there's some people in the community that would also like to do that. I don't think that's what this is either. However, I do think it's an anecdotal case of how somebody who is already struggling in some other areas can attach themselves to this community and allow that to be a covering or a hiding of other issues. And, you know, it's all just brought in because the problem from this clip and from these clips of the body cam footage is misgendering, right? But again, you watch this and you can tell there's other things. And so if that was not affirmed in the way that maybe it is here, do you know that those mental health issues that are apart from this are helped? I don't know. I truly don't. But at the same time, I think it's worth starting the conversation about it, being able to see it ultimately. And I've said this about a lot of other videos. I think it's ultimately sad to see people in these kind of positions, predicaments, states of health. Like it's really sad. Yeah, if you're ever in a spot where you're, laughing at this stuff or, making light of it, I really don't think we should. I think this is, especially as Christians, something to where we should be praying and really be, just seeking the Lord on how do we actually help people who might be in this spot, and how do we help people truly find freedom. And so I did a video at the beginning of the month on transgenderism, same-sex attraction, those kind of things, and kind of my stance on some of those positions biblically. And so you can go back and check that video out. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on this. What do you take when you see a video like this? Do you think this is all leftists and they're all just crazy and all this stuff? Are you brokenhearted? Are you compassionate to people who are in these spots? Do you think that transgenderism exasperates some of these issues, or do you think that they're kind of separated and siloed off as like, no, this is just separate things? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. Can't wait to see you in the next video. God bless.